So you guys were one. I'm hearing a lot of you guys. You guys wanted a theme song shortened, so here we go. This girl reviews movies, games, and books. Sometimes she plays them. So does that. And when she does it with the cat, does that make her crazy? Does that make her crazy? Probably. So it's shorter. There you go. Crazycatlady or Martha Butler does not own any trailers or pictures. I use them under fair use, educational, for education and
Alright,
entertainment.
everybody. Having fun? I'm having fun. Because the only day I'm doing today is watching the movies and TV shows that I'm planning to do for you guys this week. Tired. I'm not even done yet. I already did two. No, I just gotta do one more after this one. But first, let's talk about the one Peter Pan thing this week. Um, Go watch my other three Peter Pans, the 2003 review, the Wendy and Peter Pan one. I edited it and added 2023. If I go watch my Peter Pan 1953 reviews before this or after this, whatever suits your boat. So, this is for Peter Pan 2, since in the new remake, they claim that they're the ones who came up with the Lost Girls. Technically, this one beat them to the punch. But they don't want to mention that. They don't. I don't. This movie is not exactly the best movie because you can totally tell the boat in it is completely CGI. They did a bad job of hiding it. It looks terrible. Nowadays, you can totally tell that boat is not the same. That ship is not the Captain Hook's boat, ship, whatever, is not animated. Okay? It looks computer animated. You can totally tell. Like, every single time I see it, and so I had to get some of the silly moments out of the way. When Captain Hook goes and gets Jane from there, it's funny, because this movie takes place during World 2. Because, Jane, they referenced it, like, the very beginning. We see Jane running away from bombs, and they actually say it in the movie. They actually say the word bomb in it. And so, and they're actually mentioning the whole entire thing that kids have to go away to get away from the bombs and like go in the countries and stuff like that, so they won't get hit by a bomb, like in Narnia. So, yeah, and that Wendy found somebody else. So technically, since Peter Pan, Wendy was a child during 1904. Or the early 1800s, she would have been a child. She would have been a young adult in World Two time period. She would be like in her 30s and old enough to have a child. Two children named Wendy and Danny. Now Danny's not in the book. Wendy and Moira are. They mention Wendy and they mention Jane in the book. Like the last sentence of the last two sentences of like pretty much the last page. Peter Pan is when Wendy gets brought back to home. So like the last couple pages, right when Wendy gets brought back home, it references the fact that Wendy will never forget her time at Neverland, and she will and. Peter does forget her and comes back until her daughter is born, and he promises to take Jane, and then he promises, when he comes back again, he promises to take Moira. That's where Hook got the idea to have Peter marry Moira in Hook. Now, this is where they got that idea from this movie, is to go and get Jane, and have Jane be the one who is technically the first lost girl. Funny. That is very funny. That would actually happen here. So yeah, you really need to watch your motive. Like, before you do something, Disney, watch your old stuff, then say, we made the first Lost Girl, yada yada. So yeah, there's references in this movie about to other things like baseball, pinatas. We hear Peter Pan say, 3 strikes you're out. I looked up to see if, would Peter Pan know what baseball is? You could probably go at the point that maybe when the Lost Boys told him. No, technically, Peter Pan leaves like around during the 1800s and goes to Neverland, and then comes back and gets Wendy during the early 1900s. Now, they could have had Peter here from one of the Lost Boys, or like in Hook, they could have one of the kids brought back there, because remember, in Hook, John, Peter Pan's son, plays baseball, but we're not talking about that. I have to reference Hook because I love Hook so much, and I can't really view it because I already reviewed it. But anyway, baseball was created in 1876, so he would know what it is because he would have heard about it or read it about in a newspaper, since he's from a time period where there wasn't really cameras. So yeah, cameras was barely starting to get developed, really. So yeah, so as cameras did exist, they just weren't filming cameras. So yeah, they would take pictures and stuff like that, but that's basically it. But not no filming really. So yeah, not much filming actually, but yeah. We got pinatas that were mentioned in this. That one is technically old because that one's made back during the 1600s. And there's also Red Rover, which was made back I had it up earlier. I just had to look this up to see if it fits. You know me. Because I like to poke holes in this stuff when they're not pointed out. So, technically, yes, he would know what Red Rover is because it's right around the time he left. So, he would have known what this stuff is. And if he didn't, the Lost Boys would have told him. Because we don't know when the Lost Boys came to Neverland. They never are specific when did he go and get them. We just know those ones that are in this movie are technically the ones they came before Wendy came, because none of them are new. He is not in this movie. There's no new ones. So what's basically happened in this one, that I got all those technologies out of the way, those stuff out of the way. Hook kidnaps Jane because thinking that she's Wendy, so he can use her to get Hook, to get Peter Pan to and kill him, and yada yada, the whole stick. Troy Baker is doing a great job imitating the old Captain Hook in the movie. Nobody here is from the original movie. We already know that Peter Pan's actor is dead. He's not, and so is the one that plays Captain Hook. Only one that would have been still alive is technically Wendy, but she's not in this movie. I checked; it's not the same person that plays Wendy here. It's somebody else. She just does she also has a British accent though. The one that plays Jane here is Heidi Owen. So yeah, and basically there's a lot of hip hop music in this, so stuff like that. And yes, Tinkerbell does try to kill Jane here, just like she tried to kill Wendy. So I guess she just never can get up that. But a little twist happens here, since Jane is from a time period where there's a little war going on. she has no time to believe in this kind of stuff. So she does not believe in fairies. She does not believe in Peter Pan. So right when she gets there, after the Lost Boys try to make her have fun and not think about war, and think about the fact that she had a fight with Daniel, trying to say that none of this stuff is real. What Mother is telling you is wrong. And so she literally yells at right in front of yells it into Tinkerbell's at Tinkerbell, I don't believe any of this, and I especially don't believe in fairies. So yeah, and that makes she almost kills Tinkerbell. Basically, they're saying Tinkerbell's light's gonna go out, but Tinkerbell, she's basically gonna be in the one who kills her. If you think about it, since they had to make her believe. No clapping, but make her believe. So, and during this one, there's no crocodile in this. They have an octopus. Can octopus kill people? I want to know. I know, some of them are poisonous, so maybe. But this one's like a giant squid. Basically, it's a giant octopus or a giant squid. And those have never been known to kill anybody. But it's more like they make them look. It's more like a kraken because how big they make this thing. So now this is way before Pirates of the Caribbean. So I want you can bring it up all you want, but this movie came out long before Pirates of the Caribbean. This came out 1 year before Pirates of the Caribbean. So yeah, so they're probably both in production the same exact time, but one came out a year before one another. So. There you go. And then Captain Hook tricks Jane to finding the treasure and to get to Peter Pan by saying, "I will not harm a single hair on this boy." And the fact that he uses he just rips the hair out of Peter Pan's hair. This is the one I will not harm. So I like how he gets around that little particular thing. And the only thing I would like Peter to comment on this, the fact that Wendy has kids, so that means that she found somebody else. So I know he's a kid, but you should really have him ask that. Why? How did she find someone else besides me? If all the girls like me, because the fact that they even commented on that because all the girls like me in this, you would have to wonder, what would he really think about the fact that Wendy found somebody else? But they don't really comment about that. Wendy does not. Peter Pan doesn't care. But I'm more thinking about what would book Peter Pan think, or in 2003 they did ask that what is one of the ways that Hook gets him down in that movie is by bringing up husband. But that movie's a lot darker than this movie. But the fact that they bring up World War II in it, are we saying this movie not as dark as that one? They really reference World War II. And nobody's asking, why is there a 16th century ship flying around? Are they are the Germans and Japanese that focus on killing our Britain? That the fact they don't see a freaking ship in the sky? So yeah, I just had to get that out of my head. Why did they not notice that? And why is Hook not noticing? What are these things? What are these things flying around? Because Hook would not know what an airplane is. Okay, he would not know. Hook left during the 16th century. Airplanes were not a thought of his head. The Wright brothers weren't even born yet. So yeah, you just have to wonder what the heck during that scene, and that chip looks terrible. I love putting. I don't mind misking computer animation with paper. That's why I like Great Mouse Detective. I love that movie because it did it so well with the and I also love Treasure Planet. That one did a great job as it. So yeah, a lot of movies back then knew how to do it, but since this movie is a straight to DVD, it doesn't have the same exact budget as those two. So yeah, I mean, this one did get technically go to theaters, but it was originally thought to go to straight DVD. So it didn't get that much budget put into it. So it's not really the movie's fault. It had to work what it could do, so basically. And so yeah. So let's get on to talking about the behind the scenes stuff. Who directed this movie? Robert Bun Dober Cook. Screenwrite by Temper Matt, based on the characters of J.A.M. Barrie. Produced by Christopher Chase, Michael, Michelle, Polo, and Robertson, and Dan Rounds. Now, I basically already mentioned Heidi Owens, who plays Jane in this. We got Baron Wayne, who plays Peter, and we got Corey Burns, who plays Hook, and I think Jeffrey Burton plays Smee. Edited by Anthony F. Rodens, music by Joy Netley, which really we don't need hip hop stuff and this kind of stuff. It doesn't fit. So in proof that it came out a year before Pirates of the Caribbean, February 10th, 2002, in New York. Then we got it, and then U.S. got it on the 15th. So I don't know why it says New York, then probably they have premiere. So it's 73 minutes. The budget was $20 million. The box office was 1,500.6. So it did go to theaters for a little bit. So it did make its money back, apparently. So yeah, let's find out if there's any animators on here. I can talk about. And I like the fact that it brings up Toodles, who is the skunk. They will give all the Lost Boys names, which they did have in the book. But nope, no, really not. No animators. But yeah, is this one as bad as the remake? No, I don't think there is. This one's definitely a lot better. Makes me even appreciate this movie even more since I watched that dumb remake. But I still don't like this one. Not as much as the original. I will probably always will love the original, but you know me, I really like Hook more than the original. Hook's my favorite Peter Pan movie, actually. So, yeah. I'm gonna watch one of the Tinkerbell movies next week since we got one more week left of this month. So, and I'm also gonna watch the episode of Little Mermaid where there is a black mermaid in there to show people that she's not what they're doing in this movie is not the first thing they're doing from Little Mermaid. Because since Disney keeps on thinking that they forgot they did something already, but this movie was great. This movie was alright. It's not the best thing out there, but if you want to watch everything Peter Pan related, go watch it. I still haven't watched everything Peter Pan related, but yeah. So I'm probably gonna give this one a 6 out of 10. It's worth watching just to watch there's one thing I want to add. 100 Time War, we know that Jane has to believe in fairies, but we don't need the dumb song playing around. We know that the fact that she's crying and the fact that she's actually believing. in order to believe in fairies. But she does not. We do not need this music. It's not needed. Okay, everything else is fine. So that's I wanted to add to that. No hip hop music. Okay, it does not fit in this time period at all. So there, and that's all. That's what I really want to add. But yeah, Troy Birkin dupe Captain Hook, because he actually does it pretty well. And I think he's actually played it more often than the original voice actor, really, since he has to do a good imitation of him. But yeah, he's funny. So I'll see you guys later. Like, favorite, and subscribe, and bye-bye. Let me know what you guys want me to do a short for that joke that I put in the remake, because I might do it. I never done a shorts before, but I might. Let me know. Bye-bye.